Hello, it's another Girly Vines video. Today we are going to talk about the art of magic. And when I say magic, I mean magic with a K. I don't mean magic that is like sleight of hand illusions or tricks, although the two can be interrelated. I've got a pillow here. It's sort of a little makeshift setup. Normally I have a very low budget here because I'm basically just presenting ideas, and then I like to have the tarot cards present. So later on, when I wish to elaborate further through the random process of tarot, you guys can see how random it is when I shuffle. Just woke up. I do these videos a lot of times at night because my schedule is all flipped around. I've had the last couple of days off. It has been amazing. Spent a lot of good time with the wife. Got a lot done. I haven't made a video in a while. I'm spreading these out. I was going to do one every day, but it's just not really... I don't feel like doing a tarot reading every day and then philosophizing about that. There's plenty to philosophize about and then elaborate with 2 tarot cards, which has been my theme. So, magic, according to many traditions, one, the Thalamic tradition, which this Thoth tarot deck comes from, is to cause change in accordance with one's will, or something thereabouts. And chaos magic, I believe it is the same thing to a certain degree. It's basically being able to cause change in your environment. A magical act is willing something, saying, I want this, that, or the other. I want to drink of water. I'm going to go and get that drink of water. I'm going to make that happen. That is a small act of magic. If you think of that as magical, it causes you to appreciate just all of this wonderful powers that you have. A lot of people would be like, well, that's just going to get water. That's just going to work. That's just getting things done. The ability to do anything in this life is a matter of luck. And you should feel very grateful that you can get up and go get a glass of water. Because in some countries and some people cannot get up and they do not have a glass of water to go get. So that is a matter of luck, and that luck is magic in and of itself. And that also ties into the whole free will versus determinism. Like, how much of it is will coming from you? Well, if you have the ability to walk and it originated in your biological process to become thirsty and want to get water, then you could say that it originated from you, from your will. Is that will free? No, it's not a free. You don't like just choose that you're thirsty. You don't choose anything. You have the illusion of choice. You could still engage with that because it feels like you're choosing. So you might as well act like you're choosing. You might as well try because people are going to hold you accountable regardless. Anyways, that's a whole different topic. So magic. Magic is, when it comes to just doing things instead of sleight of hand card tricks or the like, it's usually spelled with a K at the end. M-A-G-I-C-K. In the Thalamic tradition, this has a very complex meaning. K being the 11th letter of the alphabet, and 11 referring to lust and engaging with life in a passionate way. There's so many layers to that, I'm not really going to go into that here. What I'm going to talk about is not Thalamic magic or chaos magic. but magic as I understand it. So, magic is causing change to occur in conformity with one's will, right? I took some notes, and I'm going to write these down. Or, I'm going to say these. Sorry, waking up. I should probably have prepared. So, I think magic boils down to three things. It boils down to energy, it boils down to attraction, and it boils down to intelligence. These three things. There could be more attributes, right? But that's what I wrote down in the notes in my phone. So it boils down to energy. If you have energy to do things, right? If you're not lethargic all the time, if you are a healthy, fit person, your brain will be awake, right? And this also ties into the intelligence aspect. But intelligence can be entirely different from energy. You can be a very sickly person and have a really good brain. You just have a lot of mental energy. But you can be smart and not even have a whole lot of mental energy. But having energy is the ability to get things done. The ability to move that boulder. The ability to protect that person. Physical prowess. All right. This also ties into attraction, right? The ability to be coordinated and to dance, and to jump and to reach things. All of that is energy, right? Now some of that is size, and some of that is physical strength, but that is also part of your energy, is your size, your constitution, stature. All of that ties into the aura that is your energy. That is why you see a lot of tall people in leadership positions, because they have what a lot of people consider to be leadership qualities or leadership energy. People naturally want to follow people that are taller. That is why actors and actresses tend to be attractive. This also ties into the attractive thing. They have the ability to play that role, is because they have an attractive energy to them. People are drawn to them. They want to be around them. They want to emulate those people. So this leads also to attraction. So, and all three of these things tie into one another beautifully. If you're very attractive, then you're going to be confident. And you're going to be confident because you're accustomed to people doing what you want them to do. People want to accommodate you if you're attractive, because they want to reap the benefits of knowing somebody that's attractive. They want that halo glow to be cast. They want to bask in that. There's benefits to having friends that are attractive, aligning yourself with attractive forces. Also, in terms of being an actor or an actress, whether it's in real life or on the screen, you are going to be more convincing if people want to look at you and watch you. Now, also, there are plenty of brilliant actors and actresses that aren't the best looking, but that is because their energy, their intelligence, is able to inhabit that character so well that they don't need to be attractive. They just have those other two qualities in abundance. So you don't have to have all of these qualities. But if you have energy and intelligence, you're going to be attractive, right? So it's not just physical attraction. It's not just the symmetry of the face. It's not just having good genes. Although those things definitely play a part. Yeah. And then there's intelligence. So if you're intelligent, you're going to tend to make better choices in regards to your health and your energy. And you're also going to tend to make better choices in regards to your attraction. So, for instance, picking on myself, if I were actually really smart about this YouTube game, I would make these videos more attractive for people. I would make people want to click on these more. I am relying solely on what little intelligence I feel I have to share. I have ideas that I want to share on YouTube. I'm hoping that they are novel and enlightening enough that people would continue to want to watch. They would see a title that I put on one of these videos, say the tarot review of the newest Eminem album, Kamikaze. People like Eminem and Kamikaze, and they're like, whoa, somebody's going to review that from the perspective of the tarot. I've never seen that before. I'm curious. Let me see what it is. And then hopefully my intelligent presentation would keep them around to watch further videos. But a lot of times I feel like I might need to up my attractive game. I might need to make these videos more attractive. But as of right now, I'm fine just sharing my ideas, because at this point, that is my will. I would like more views. I'll be honest, I would like more popularity. But I don't want it enough to muster the energy for that outcome. So whatever happens in that regard. Hopefully the universe gives me a little bit of luck. So energy, attractiveness, and intelligence. That is what makes a magical person. Some other traditions like to distinguish between white and black magic. And I think white magic is basically a creative force where you are creating circumstances that are conducive to what you want without hurting other people. And then there are destructive forces, the black magic, which is like you're getting what you want and you're being very selfish about it, and you're screwing other people over in the process. A lot of this requires like these rituals that have where you say all these god names and all that kind of stuff. I'm not really gonna. So I have some rituals that I'll discuss a little bit later, but they're not as ornate, and they don't require you to say all these deities' names. As a matter of fact, I think that magic is solely psychological. I think it's fun to believe that there are supernatural forces in the universe that care about what you do on this planet. I don't think the universe cares about you at all. I think that that magic is a projection of what you have going on in you. And also it helps to have a good environment, because you can be magical as fuck and still live in like the Antarctic, and you're not going to go very far unless you're just so magical you know how to leave that situation. But there are some situations where no amount of magic is going to help you. Like the mug, it's a night owl, because I'm a night owl. See, that's my humor. But I don't really think, I think there's the distinction between creative magic and destructive magic, or black magic and white magic, or white magic, black magic, respectively. I think that those distinctions are arbitrary, because I think that I think that you can create stuff without stepping on other people's toes. But life is about creation and destruction. And it's happening around us all the time. Things grow, they're born, they grow, they die, right? Ideas are born, they grow to whatever extent that they're capable of growing, and then they die, right? And are replaced by new ones. That is how the world works. And it's not bad or good. I think life, if you're here on this world, it's about creation. You're here to create forms. So whether it's an idea or a person, You know, you want to make sure that that form is efficient and that form is contributing in some kind of substantial way, but it doesn't necessarily have to. There's no rule that says that you have to do anything in any kind of substantial way. I think you should. I personally think you should, but from the universe's perspective, you know, I mean, you can just create farts all day and then wait for them to dissipate, and that can be your existence. Although I don't think anybody is just so low energy that that's all they're going to do. But true magic, and I think the best magic, like real magic, is you're creating forms, you're creating an artwork that influences people in a way that betters their life, that makes their lives better in some way. And I think the greatest good in magic is, and this is what I think, but I don't think that necessarily magic is just, because I think there can be magic that is very just destructive, and that is also contributing in a way, like clearing away all the debris of some movement or some phenomena, and doing away with that in a destructive way can give birth to new forms as well. So it's not just about creation, it is about destruction too. So either way, whether you're creating or destroying something, I think that it should be in a way where it's beneficial. It's beneficial to people, and beneficial to the greatest number of people, preferably. If you're just doing things for yourself, then yeah, that would be, I guess that would be black magic to an extent. Okay, so this is getting rambling. Moving on. Let me see what else I have written before I go any further. So if you don't need ritual in order to be a magician. You don't even need to call yourself a magician in order to be a magician. You can just be intelligent and be attractive and have energy, right? And you will inherently create magical forms around you. I mean, you don't need to even subscribe to any kind of train of thought that has anything to do with the word magic. And you don't need to do any rituals, but the rituals are to ingrain attitudes into the ritual of your life, in order to psych you up, in order to do a thing. So say what you want to do is to get a new job. So a technique that I don't know, it's not really solely my creation, okay? So a lot of magic is basically amping yourself up through ritual, whether it's spinning around in circles and drawing pentagrams in the air with your finger or with some kind of magical instrument, whether that be a dagger or a wand or what have you, and then, you know, vibrating God names into each quadrant of your room or your temple space, or whether it's as Grant Morrison, the guy that wrote the Invincibles, and he's written some Batman comics. He talks about chaos magic and how he will create sigils from phrases that he has written that reflect his will and what he wants to get accomplished. He creates a symbol or a sigil out of that, and then he charges that symbol with sexual energy, basically masturbatory energy, and then he sort of, I think, carries that around as a talisman or whatever. So my idea of something that would be the most, in my mind, to really break down what a ritual is meant for. So if you're not already doing the thing, say you want to get a job, And you're not just saying, oh, I want to get a job, so I need to prepare in order to get that job. I need to get a haircut. I need to update my resume. I need to practice with somebody, interviewing techniques. I need to make sure I'm qualified for the job and maybe research the company and all these things. If these things don't actually occur to you, maybe you don't even know exactly what kind of job it is you want. And so when you're stuck in this gray area of what your will is, that's when I think ritual can be helpful, is because that's when it accesses the subconscious parts of your brain, and it helps sort of bring what you actually want to the surface. Because I think a lot of times people are just sort of going about their lives and they're not doing their true will, which you're gonna do whatever it is you're doing is what you're doing. So, but there are people that go about their lives and they get caught up in the rituals of life, of just going to a 9-to-5 job that they probably don't like, and they get caught up in doing their chores and doing this, and they don't have a whole lot of energy to think about what it is they want, because they're caught in the mundane rituals of life. I think that doing a ritual in order to bring about what it is you actually want, even though you don't know exactly what that actual thing is, that over time can help you figure it out. So this is what I call art magic. Okay? Art magic is simple. I wrote this down. Art magic is simple in theory, but not practice. You are to create artwork that represents your desired outcome. The more energy, attraction, and intelligence you put into this work, the more psychologically potent it will be. Okay? So, there are a few rules to this. So, you don't need to light candles. You don't need to have to say these God names that you don't believe in, or create deities, or do any of that shit. All you need to do for art magic, and the reason we use art as a template for getting what you want, and everybody can be an artist, because being an artist is basically the act of being creative, right? And trying to bring novel forms into existence, which is what life is about, in my opinion. We're using art because we are engaging with the ineffable qualities of our unconscious mind. Okay? We are trying to access what it is we really want. So, in creating a piece of artwork, and here's the thing, you do this totally in silence. So now I'm going to describe exactly what this ritual consists of. This ritual. So say that you want to get a new job, but you don't know what it is. You have a job right now, and it pays the bills. It may have the schedule you want, whatever, yada yada. But you're not quite satisfied with it, and so you'd like to get a new job. But you don't know where to go. You don't know what to do with that. So before you start applying to jobs, which may not be the types of jobs that you want, and before you start updating your resume, when you don't know exactly what kind of audience you're catering to, one thing you can do is an art magic ritual. And what you do is you start making a work of art that represents as close as you possibly can get to what it is you want in a job. You create that in a work of art. So the more that you know about what you want in a job, the more elaborate and intricate you make your rendering of that artwork. It could be, if you're a very good artist, right? Now, if you're a very good artist, then chances are you are so savvy that you probably are already going to be doing the thing that you want to do, because you're very good at rendering your imagination into reality. You're very good at manifesting what you want already. All right. Chances are you may not be the best artist, but that doesn't mean that you can't make great art. So, what you do is, say you have an idea that, okay, well, I'm sort of good with puzzles. I'm sort of good with putting things together. So, maybe on a piece of paper, it doesn't have to be paper either. It doesn't have to be a painting. It doesn't have to be a drawing. It can be a sculpture. It can be any type of art. It can be paper mache, whatever, right? You can do a picture, say for the sake of this example, you're painting, and you paint a picture of sort of puzzle pieces interlocking together. And then as you are creating this piece of art with the idea that you want to get a new job, right? Eventually, the picture will become clearer as you're working on it, and the more intricately, and the more potent, it will be the most potent whenever you put the most amount of energy into it. So now if it's just sort of a slapdash little scribble, and it's just like you're just drawing a big tumbleweed of scrawl, then that's basically what your will is at that moment. It's just a big tumbleweed of scrawl. You put no effort into it. So it's going to remain abstract. But the more effort you put into accurately visualizing what it is you want, then the clearer the picture in the artwork is going to be. So maybe the painting, which begins as this interlocking mishmash of geometric forms, say, the more you work on it, the more layers you add to it, eventually it becomes pipes, interweaving into one another. And maybe you come to the conclusion, the loose idea, that maybe you would be a good plumber. Hey, plumbers make good money, and that's a very useful trade to have. People need plumbers to come and fix their pipes. Very, very vital contribution to society. So you get your artwork, and you work on it, and you work on it, you work on it, and you work on it for however long you need to work on it. And as you're working on this, you need to reinforce in your life rituals that amplify your intelligence, your energy, and your level of attraction, because that's just going to make you more magical in the meantime. But as you're figuring out this big life project concerning your next career move, right, and you're creating this artwork, and you're doing this all in silence, you're doing it all in secret. You don't tell anybody about this artwork, okay? Because this is your personal power. This lends to the power and confidence of what you're doing. Once you start talking to people, oh yeah, I'm doing this magical ritual, and it involves these pipes, and it's all this kind of stuff. It takes all the steam, all the fucking energy that you had that was locked up into this project that you're doing. You're going to start letting it out. And then it just becomes a work of art. And then people might come, oh, can I see that work of art? And they see it, and they're looking at it, and then they're judging it. And then their judgments are imbued into the art. You don't need all that. You just need to do the art, do the ritual for your own personal use. Okay? Once you've done that, then you have to charge the artwork with sexual energy. Reason is, now, and you want to be a frenzied, powerful. You don't want it to just be another release. It isn't just a release. Sexual energy, sex is life, right? It plays into the attraction thing. It plays into the intelligence thing. It is social intelligence to understand how to wield sexuality. I mean, it's a truth of the universe. What is it? The energy. That could have been the fourth one. But yeah, energy, attraction, intelligence. Yeah, all of those play into sexuality. And vice versa. So you want to imbue your artwork with that. Now, that doesn't mean releasing onto the artwork. Literally, you don't have to do that. And that's mumbo jumbo. What you should do, though, is as you are raising that energy in yourself to be released, you have the artwork in the back of your mind. It doesn't have to be in the room. And you can be doing this by yourself or with a person, but it has to be good sex. Whether it's with yourself or with somebody else, it has to be good. You know. And it can be, and also this can be as many times as you would like. But it has to be, you can't be telling people what you're doing. And you need to have that in the back of your mind. And the better, and so another, which is kind of a superstitious thing, the better the sex, the better the art, the better your chances of being able to make this manifest. And I would say that even without the framework of this being a magical ritual, that's going to be true in real life too. The better you're fucking, the better you're living. The better you're getting things done. I think that's just true. Also, so then once you have done that, once you have completed the artwork, and it has taken what was originally an abstract idea and you have rendered it into a piece of artwork that represents symbolically what it is you wish to do. At this point, you have thought about it so much that you have actually started to formulate what it is you want to do and what it is you want to do, actually. And in this meantime, you can actually start creating working on your resume and working on your appearance and working on interview skills, because you're starting to go in a direction. So you don't just do this in a vacuum. This artwork, working on this artwork, is going to affect your life outside of the ritual sphere. And then, here's the last thing. This will utterly cement this piece of art in your mind. You've made it, you have fucked to it, and you have told nobody about it. You have kept it secret from everybody. It's your own little secret. Okay. That makes it a very, very powerful thing in your mind. What you're going to do, the last thing you're going to do, and this leads to the destructive aspect of magic, because life is birth and death, creation and destruction. You are going to destroy this artwork. The best way to do it is by fire. Okay. Now, of course, you want to be safe. You do not want to, do not hurt yourself setting artwork on fire. Very easy to set things on fire without hurting yourself. Find a way to do it. I can't recommend how to do this. If you don't feel safe doing that, smash it. Right? Smash it, or just throw it away so nobody sees it. Because that's destroying it, and that gets it out of your line of sight. And then nobody risks ever seeing it. But me personally, I create the artwork, and I fuck to it, charge it with that good, vital sexual energy, and then I destroy it, very vitally, right? With strength and all of the energy, and maybe with rage, because anger, although it's frowned upon in polite society, is the sign of virility. You know, all of the most virile people out there are extremely angry, and they usually tend to get what they want through their anger. So anyways, that is my video on art magic. It's not the newest concept, but it's my take on it. I've practiced different types of ceremonial magic in my day, and I couldn't really relate to it. And if this, you can't relate to this, create your own type of magic, which I think that's basically what chaos. This is basically a subgenre of chaos magic. It's just very simple. You're not spinning around. You're not meditating. Creating art is meditation in and of itself. Okay, so I'm going to do a tarot reading to elaborate further on this video, as I always do. Man, I'm very stuttery this video. I apologize for that. Yeah, I'm off my game. I never really had a game to begin with. I don't really prepare much. See, that's the thing, is that I don't really prepare for these videos that much. I'm just kind of doing it on the fly. Hence sort of the freestyle aspect of it. I've always, you know, I don't know. I don't want to take that much time to do these videos. I'm not getting paid for it, so it's like, you know, maybe that's the wrong attitude to have. You know, it would be more attractive if I put a lot more energy and intelligence into these videos. But maybe I just don't have that. It is determined against me to have a lot of energy and a lot of attraction, a lot of intelligence. Maybe I'm just a middling guy all around. Could be the case, you know. But I'm uncovering that mystery as I go along. That's one of the gifts of life, is uncovering the mystery of who you are. So, I'm shuffling these in front of you so you can see that I ain't fucking around. This is some random stuff. Give it a few more little cutsies. Alright. I'm going to get the top two here. You hear my stomach growl. Alright, so what do we have here? We have the 9 of discs, or pentacles, as it is called in other tarot decks, and we have the Fool. I don't think I've gotten these cards before. It was pretty cool. Every video, I think that I usually get new cards. Okay, so you probably can't see it because there's kind of a glare on the screen. But whatever. That's going to have to... Let's see. Can you see that? So, the 9 of discs and the Fool as it applies to art magic. Well, this is going to be fun. Well, the 9 of discs, Pentacles deals with material gain. This is actually called gain. And it means that all of the preparations that you have taken in making something manifest on the material level. So, number 9, the 9th Sephiroth on the Tree of Life. And the Tree of Life is, I don't have a diagram right now, but there are 10 Sephiroth, which are the different orbs, and the top orb represents the Godhead, and or the pre-thought before you actually have a thought. So if you were to, I'm going to put these down. So if you were to liken the Tree of Life to the human body, then the very top Sephiroth would be right up above the head. which is before a thought enters the human body. And then you go down, and there's an orb, I would say probably here. No, it'd be right here, and then on this side. So it'd be like the two hemispheres of the brain, and then it would go down the body, and then cross the chest to, you know, when people say your heart, like they're talking about like the blood from a scientific level. Like, oh, I feel this in my heart. I have these feelings, right? Which is different from my thoughts. So your thoughts influence your feelings, and your feelings influence your thoughts. So from a physiological level, if like say that you are physically a very nervous person, that can influence your mind. And then it's a feedback loop back down to your physiology, right? So if you are in a habit, that's why meditation can be very useful, is that if you're in a habit of calming your body, then you can calm your mind, and vice versa, because they're linked to one another. The ninth supernal, or the ninth Sephiroth, I believe I'm saying that right, corresponds to the regenerative organs, right? The reproductive organs, genitalia. And this is when the thought has traveled, or the pre-thought, like even before it enters your head, and it's still sort of in that abstract subconscious level, right? Before it has actually gone through the different parts of your brain, bounced around in there and become a full-fledged thought. This subconscious thought has traveled all the way down, and it's reaching the nether regions, and it's getting ready to do the deed. It's getting ready to do the creative deed in the world and manifest itself in the world. So if you liken this to attraction, say you are in a new environment, say it's usually a workplace or something like that. You see somebody, and even before you see that person, you are inclined to maybe turn your head to towards that person because of an aura they give off. They have some kind of attractive aura. There's a lot of activity around this person, right? So even before you see this person, you are magnetically inclined to turn your head and be like, look in that direction. And so you do that, and then you automatically notice, hey, that person has got energy. That person has got energy. Automatically, you notice that, right? And that can be from being attractive, that you will see. And then once you see that person's attractive, you're probably going to assume that they're intelligent too. They might have this eagle-eyed look about them, where they just seem sharper, right? You don't see a lot of people like kind of dopey looking. They don't seem very attractive. Like attractive people usually seem intelligent, and vice versa. Although it's not always the case. You may assume wrongly. Anyways, you look at that person, and once you see that person, you say, "Oh, I desire that." And so the ability to actually connect that abstract thought of pre-desire and have it become desire. And the pre-desire is the deterministic aspect, because you don't control what it is you desire. Okay? And you don't control that person's got energy and you are drawn to looking at that, right? So this whole process, the ability to actually get to the stage at the ninth circle of hell, that is you, or the ninth Sephiroth of your tree of life, of your body of energy, and bring it down, you'll be able to actually make that happen, right? You're able to woo that person with your magical qualities, and then get that person and take them from a casual setting to a more intimate setting. If you're that magical, then you are going to gain in that respect, right? And this applies to everything. This applies not just to sexual attraction, but also to just getting what you want in general, right? You are able to take an abstract thing and you are able to think about it consciously, and then you're able to feel a certain way about it, and it shakes up your energy and makes you do things with your hands, and you gets to creating. It's not just an idea, but it's an actual movement in your body, and you're actually doing, and you have the ability to make the thought become the movement, which makes the movement become the outcome, and then you gain from that magical quality. The next card after this is the 10 of discs, and that is wealth. And that is after you have, so this is the actual doing, right? This is the actual, like, you have the know-how and you are actually able to get it done. And then the wealth is kind of like you have solidified that you can do that, right? You have, so in my previous metaphor, or analogy, so you have attracted the person, and then you're actually able to do the thing, and then the wealth is that you're able to do it again and again, right? You have basically solidified that foundation of being able to have that thing. Now, if you don't make it to that level, then that means that you're probably playing with a lot of smoke and mirrors, and you weren't actually as cut out for that thing you were going for that you thought. That person was maybe out of your league, or maybe you were working with a lot of BS in your whole, maybe there was a lot of sleight of hand in your magic, and you weren't thoroughly the person that person thought you were. So, to cross that with the Fool is, and the major arcana is, and you see the Fool here, you can't really see it, damn it, the light's not good in here. I need to change that with my magical abilities and make it where you guys can see. So the Fool here is before the Magician. The Magician is the savvy person that's able to get things done. The Fool is the risk taker that basically just kind of is bound by his determinism and goes whichever way the wind blows him, right? He has this sort of childlike, boundless enthusiasm for life and a wanderlust, so he doesn't really have any direction. He'll just take whatever direction is given to him. If you were to cross this with the gain, the material gain card, this means that in magic, and also applying it to what we're talking about, in magic, you have to be able to, you're sort of dealing with that. You're dealing with not really having a direction. Because if you had a direction, then you wouldn't need the ritual. You would just be doing the magic. You would just be a magical person. You already have energy. You already have intelligence. You already have attraction, right? So why would you need an extra ritual in order to do the thing that you set out to do, right? So you're still kind of playing with the Fool. You're still kind of playing with not really having a clear-cut, step-by-step direction. And so, in order to reach the gain of the 9th Sephiroth, and actually bring the idea to the suit of pentacles or discs, which is the material realm. You don't want to just play with ideas, but you actually want to bring the ideas to reality. That's magic. If you actually want to do that, you need to take the ineffable and the foolish abstractions, and you need to work on those, and you work on those through art. That is what art is about, in my opinion. And art is about taking ideas that aren't really fully formed. Maybe they're just feelings. right? That's why music is so powerful. Is because it conjures feelings in us that, you know, it's not like you're listening to somebody reel off a laundry list of things that you should feel. It's like it's conjuring things in you. So art is supposed to conjure things in the person viewing the art. And if the artist can do that, whether it's through a movie or through a painting or through a piece of music, then they've done their job. And the art magic is supposed to conjure in you what it is you actually set out to do. But you're the artist and the recipient. So, you got your Fool, 9 of Discs, Art Magic. That's a freestyle. This whole thing was freestyle. I didn't write this down except a few little notes here. I wrote these down at work, okay? I'm a genius, y'all. I'm just joking. I'm not a genius. I'm very, very middling. And I'm very tired. I think I might make another video, though. I think I have another one because I've been thinking about some things I enjoy talking to myself to. So, but you guys have been great. People who are going to be watching this in the future once I post it. Been awesome. Girly Vines signing out. Adios.